Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm making everything in the pantry cookies. Basically, whatever you have in your pantry, you can use in these cookies. So let me tell you what I use for mine. One day I just had nothing better to do and I had a lot of items in the pantry and I said, let me try make some cookies with these things. And they turned out really good and I've been making them ever since. So the main ingredients that I use is Teff Flour. You can use any flour that you like, but the Teff Flour has more like an earthy flavor. And to me, it just makes the cookies taste better. Then for sweetener, we're using dates and apricots that I'm going to chop up very fine. We're using some cacao nibs, some goji berries that gives it a little tartness, shredded unsweetened coconut, different type of nuts. I have mixed nuts. I have raw pistachios. I'm using sunflower seeds, then applesauce, vanilla, baking soda, flaxseed, and 2 very, very, very ripe bananas. So before we get started, I have to turn on the oven and preheat it to 375. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is mash up these bananas so they have time to sit for a little bit. We mash them up. So the bananas are mashed. Now we're adding 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Stir it around and let's set these bananas to the side. Somebody once told me if you add the baking soda to the bananas direct, it does something to the bananas and it's better when you bake them. So ever since then I've been doing that. I have put the dates and the apricots in the food processor and chopped them up some. Now I'm going to add the nuts to chop those as well. The dates, the apricots, the nuts are chopped up. So now we're going to start making our cookies. So we use our Teff Flour. I will put the recipe in the description box so you guys can have all of the ingredients. We are adding the bananas. The applesauce. Our vanilla. If the dough is too dry, we're going to add a little almond milk in it, but we're going to wait until the end to see what it looks like. So now I'm going to add the nuts and the dates and the apricots. The seeds. That's quite a workout. I usually use my hand mix, my stand mixer, but I didn't want to do all that noise today, so I'm doing it by hand. I guess it's my workout for me today. So now we are going to add the cocoa nibs, the goji berries, and the coconut. Okay, the dough is done. Now we are going to use an ice cream scooper, or if you have a cookie scooper, you can use a cookie scooper. I use the ice cream scooper. And scoop these on the prepared cooking sheets. I always use parchment paper for easy cleanup. They don't have to be spread out too far because these cookies are so dense, they don't get bigger when they cook. Probably because of all of these nuts and seeds in here. Okie dokie. So now we're going to use a fork to flatten out these cookies. Make sure you dip the fork in some water so the dough won't stick it to it. We do this with every cookie. The cookies are ready to go in the oven. I preheated it to 375. I will set the timer to 15 minutes and then we check them. They might take longer than that, but with the Teff Flour, I'm always more aware because it can get dark quick. So I always check after 15 minutes just to make sure my cookies don't burn. Now, while the other ones are in the oven, we're getting the next cookie sheet ready. And I will be right back. The second batch is done and ready to go in the oven. We're just waiting for the first batch to come out. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to clean my kitchen. I'll be back. The first batch is ready. It took a total of 18 minutes. Let me put the other batch in. Set the timer. And this is what they look like. You don't want them too dark. And the bottom is like this. So that was a total of 18 minutes. Let's set these cookies on the cooling rack. The second batch is done. I'm going to take it out the oven. Okay, there we go. Now let's see how they look at the bottom. Yep, they are done. So we're going to put these on the cooling rack as well. They are very, very heavy cookies because of all of the nuts and seeds and the apricots and the dates and all the other good stuff. They are really nice to have. So here we go. The cookies are completed. It is really nice to have these cookies, especially if you're on the go. I put them in separate little sandwich bags and then in a freezer bag, and they freeze really well. Also, when you keep them in the refrigerator, they hold for a week and a half in the refrigerator. Because of the banana, you want to store them in the fridge. You don't want to store them on the counter. In the freezer, you can keep them month, maybe even longer. They don't last that long. So here we go. All of the nuts and seeds and dried apricots and dried dates. It is so nice to have. It's a very heavy cookie, very dense cookie. No sugar, no oil, no egg, nothing. It's strictly vegan. I even like them, and like I said before in videos, I am not vegan, but these ones are so yummy. I can't wait to bite in one. Let's bite in one. You hear the crunch? So yummy. Mm. Mm. All of those nuts. The Teff Flour gives it this earthy taste. The nuts, the different type of nuts, give it different flavor. Then the sweetness from the dates and the apricots, a little tang from the goji berries. The dark chocolate has a little bitterness to them. So this is the perfect cookie for when you're on the go and you want to be healthy. So this is it for today. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel. The recipe will be down in the description box. Bon Appetit, guten Appetit, auf Wiedersehen, bye.